There's one. Get him. Oh, that might be a better fish. Come on, buddy. Be a better fish. Welcome back, everybody. So has anybody else ever wondered if those lunar fishing tables actually work? I have an app on my phone. I've never really paid that much attention to it just because I like to fish whenever I have the opportunity to, but I've always wondered if it does work. So that's what we're doing in this video. We're gonna go ahead and experiment with it. We're gonna go out fishing. My app has the highest rating as a 4-star day, so we're gonna go out fishing on a 4-star day, which is today, and then we're gonna go out fishing on a 1-star day and see how they compare and see how fishing is. But before I forget, we are still doing our giveaway, so stay to the end of the video to kind of figure out how you have the opportunity to enter for that. We have all sorts of baits. Our box is getting insanely full. We have bladed jigs, spinner baits, frogs, glide baits, swim baits, everything under the sun. It is getting quite full. So stay to the end of the video to kind of figure out how to enter for that. But let's get out on our 4-star day and see if we can't catch a couple fish. All right, so in theory, because today is supposed to be a very good day, we didn't bring anything finesse. I didn't even bring a spinning rod with me. So we're gonna be throwing our frogs, our jackhammer, spinner baits, Texas rig, that sort of thing, in hopes to catch a decent sized fish. But let's go ahead and start chucking around and see if we can't get into a couple. We're gonna be trying to fish the same lakes too, just to try and keep everything as even as possible. And for as close to amount of the same time as we can also. We might fish a couple days that are, 4-star days and a couple days that are 1-star days, but I guess we'll have to kind of see how the fishing goes. Oh, there's one. Smoked it. Not a bad one. I was on like the 2nd cast with a jackhammer. Oh, there we go. I was a little ways away from the bank even. There we go. You got that one good. There we go. Little 2-pounder. Probably not quite 2 1/4, but that is a good start. And he hit it hard. I guess that's something to kind of think about too as we're catching fish and stuff, is kind of how they bite. If it's kind of a little bit more of a mush bite or something like that, or if it's a little bit more aggressive. Oh, got him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, a little guy. Oh my. A little guy on the twitch. Didn't even wait for it to slow down. I saw one blow up right after we had caught the one on the chatterbait. Decided to throw in there. I think it was a bigger one than him for sure, but that was incredibly aggressive too. Maybe there's something to it. Comment down below before you see the rest of this, if you believe in this wholeheartedly, or if it's kind of just one of those tools that you kind of use to determine if it's going to be a good day or not. In my opinion, I try and get out regardless. If it's going to be a good day or a bad day, I don't really care. Obviously, I'd prefer a good day, but I'm going to get out when I have the opportunity to. But if you anticipate that it might not be a great day, you might be a little bit less disheartened when that actually happens. The number of times that I've had an absolutely awful day and then gone to check that app and seen that it was a 1-star day is actually quite ironic how often that actually does happen. So I think there's something to it, but I don't think it's an end-all be-all as to whether you should go or fish or not. But who knows? We'll wait for another couple days of fishing in these and experimenting a little bit and see how true all that is. Oh, that one hit it hard too. There must be a few over there. That's pretty close to where we caught the last one on the jackhammer. Holy cow. Little guy. Not, ooh. Little guy. Barely skin hooked. Good night. See if there's some more over there. That's 3 fish in one tiny area really, really quickly. So. There's one on the pause, not purposeful, but oh, I pulled him off. Shouldn't have done that. There's one. Oh, missed it. That wasn't a bad fish. I don't know how he missed it. There's one. Little guy. Ski him on in. Yep. He ate it well, but was not super aggressive. And in all honesty, they've kind of shut off. We had a few bites. There was one that I didn't get on video also, but I actually downsized from the jackhammer on over to the baby jack in hopes that a couple more fish would bite. Oh, there's one. As soon as it hit, there's a bunch of bait back in there. It's not an awful one. There's a bunch of bait in there. That's still, it's 1 3/4 maybe. Let's see if we can't catch some more. It took a while, so this isn't boding well for, oh, there's another one that leaked. This isn't boding well for a super great day by any means. It's a decent day, but there's more bait busting over there. Maybe they're finally starting to fire up a little bit. There's one. A lot of these fish that are busting on some pretty small bait. So I tied on the Mini Max Evo, and they are smaller fish, but we're at least catching them. They were a lot of these bait fish that are busting are a couple inches, so I don't know that we're going to get some big fish, but seems like what the smaller fish are definitely eating on. There's one. Got him. Finally. Oh, that's a better one. On the Texas rig. And he threw it off. There we go. He got pegged right in the gill. We let him go. Well, it's a little bit better of a fish. We lost our plastic though, unfortunately. Let's see if we can't end up throwing a chatterbait in there and getting bit too. There's one. Whoa, right next to the kayak. Another little one. These are the guys that are chasing that bait around. We'll probably put on another plastic and see if we can't catch some better ones on the Texas rig. There's one. Little guy. Oh, threw it. There's one. Little guy again. Alright, we're done throwing
the Mini Max, because these guys are everywhere chasing tiny little bait. So we'll switch on over and see if we can't catch one more, two more before we call today a day. There's one. And a little ball of bait. Not a big one. Yeah. Not a bad one compared to the ones we were catching on the... Ooh. Ooh, his mouth is torn up. He's been caught once or twice. Not as bad as the ones we were catching on the Mini Max. But that'll probably be about it for today. We might come back and fish, if there's another 4-star day, we might come back and fish with a rig for as many small fish or small bait fish that these fish were chasing. I think there would be a crazy opportunity to catch a lot of fish. So I didn't have an A-rig with me today, unfortunately, but as far as a day goes, I mean, we only fished for, it was about an hour and a half. I don't know how many we caught, like 7, 8, something like that. Missed a couple too. Not a crazy day, not a bad day by any means, but nothing incredibly special. So we'll fish one more day with a 4-star day, and then see if we can't start fishing some 1-star days and seeing if we catch anything remotely close. Maybe this was that good of a day, but I guess we don't really know until we fish those 1-star days and see what happens on this lake. But till the next one. Welcome back, everybody. So this is our second 4-star day to see if those lunar fishing tables actually work or mean anything. Last time we fished for about an hour and a half, caught a few fish, nothing real big. So hopefully today's a little bit better of a 4-star day. We did see a bunch of small bait fish busting and bass chasing them. So I said we'd bring out the A-rig. That's what we are going to do. I've never caught a double on an A-rig. So ideally that's what we would do today and hopefully catch a few decent fish. But let's get after it. Hopefully have one heck of a day. There's one. That's like our 3rd cast. Oh gosh. What we do have to worry about, and I'm getting hooked. And there were a lot of little ones last time also. So I assume that's going to be a lot of what we catch. But I'm hoping to catch a couple decent ones and maybe some big ones. Hopefully a double. There's one. Little guy. Little guy. Not too shabby. I haven't had another bite on the A-rig, but we have seen plenty of fish jump. A little bit bigger of fish. I think today is going to be an absolutely phenomenal day. Super optimistic about this. But will we catch any big ones? Will we do that much better than the other day? That is to be seen. Got him. There's one. That was an easy one. Not a big one. This tree always has fish on it. But matter of them biting or not, completely different. I didn't have nearly the number of bites I thought I would on an A-rig, so I switched just on over to a Texas rig. And that took absolutely no time at all. First pitch actually in there, so that might be what we're throwing a little bit more of today. They were busting, but we might have to wait a little bit closer to dusk for them to bite that real well. Let's see if we can't get another one. That was pretty in the thick of it. There's one. There's another good one. Almost the exact same spot. Oh, that's a better fish. Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go. There's a better one. And he absolutely choked that thing down there. All right, give him a look. Let him go. All right, that's two very, very quickly. Yeah, the Texas rig might be what we're doing the rest of the day. There's one. Finally. It stopped biting for a little while. That's a little guy, but it's better than nothing. And a couple bites on the Texas rig. We got bit up by something. A couple bites on the Texas rig. I threw a spinnerbait for a little while, threw a jackhammer for a while. Absolutely nothing. Which is wild, because it seems like the fish should be so much more aggressive than they are. I mean, I still see them busting on bait, but the only thing I haven't thrown is a lipless. And we could end up throwing a Senko or something like that, but you would think on days where fish are supposed to be much more aggressive, you wouldn't necessarily have to resort to some of those little more finessey tactics. Look at him go. How can we not catch a fish out of all this? There are tons of them. They all look like shad too. We can't even catch one on lipless. I hope I caught that, because that was awesome. There's so many here. So many fish. And I cannot catch one to save my life on anything. Or throw the Texas rig again. There's one. Little guy. Little guy. I don't know why the only thing I can catch them on is a Texas rig tonight. That one's blown. I don't know why, I don't know why. I feel like on a 4-star day or whatever, I feel like they should be much more aggressive than what they actually are. There's one. There's one. Oh. Oh my gosh. That is about how our day's gone. I don't know how this could be a 4-star day. There's so much bait flipping around like crazy. And we did catch one on, there's a little guy. We did end up catching one on the A-rig. I think we caught one possibly on a chatterbait. I threw a spinnerbait, didn't have a bite. Threw a lipless, didn't have a bite. They aren't really busting that much top water per se. I mean, they are chasing the shad or whatever, but they're definitely subsurface. So I don't even know that throwing a buzz bait or anything like that would really be that beneficial. But I don't think a 1-star day could be much worse than what this was. But we will be back out on a couple 1-star days. We're going to try and do we'll be on the same lake, but we'll try and fish about the same amount of time between the 2 days that we fished already. It's been about 3 hours, so we'll do that and see if these lunar tables really mean much of anything. But at this moment, I can't assume that is the case, but we'll see. Welcome back, everybody. So today is our last day of trying to figure out if these lunar tables actually work. We've fished a couple 4-star days and caught some fish, but today is our 1-star day, so I should have zero expectations of catching anything. That being said, because it is supposed to be a bad day, we are fishing a lot of finesse baits. So we've got the baby jack on, I've got the mini maxes, some small spinner baits, drop shot, small Texas rig, that sort of thing, wacky rig, anything to get a bite. So we're gonna do our best. Again, we're out on the same lake. Water conditions very, very similar to the last couple times we've been out, and temperature and everything has been pretty consistent. So everything for the most part is pretty standardized. So the only thing that's really changed that much is our lunar tables. So let's go ahead and start checking around and see if we can't catch a couple fish and see how much attention you should really pay to those lunar tables. There's one. Finally. Threw the baby jack for a little while. End up with one quick little bite that we didn't hook up with. And then we've been throwing the drop shot since. And there is our first fish. I don't know if there's something to these lunar tables, but it so far has not been a great day. But hopefully it gets better during dark and or closer to dusk, and I guess if not, I think it's pretty safe to say that there might be a little bit to it. Oh, oh my, what was that? I don't know if that was a bass or a pike. That was crazy. That scared me. There's one. You any better? I don't think so. Not any better. Come on. It's fighting funny though. There we go. Alright, a little bit better. Threw our bait, got hooked a little funny, so we'll have to grab the pliers for him. Not a bad one. Not anything big. Right home about. Look at that little black spot he's got top of his lip. Alright. First semi-okay fish of the day. Did lose a stick bait, so that's not great because I don't know how many I have, but I do have a couple different colors, so might end up switching on over to some black and blue, but hopefully fishing picks up a little bit. We're not catching them too bad, but it's just kind of slow, and there's not very many big ones for whatever reason in the same area that we've caught decent ones previous days. There's one. Got him. Finally. Oh, is it a decent one? I think it's bigger than the last one we caught, that's for sure. I don't think it's big. Nope, not big. About the same size as the last one. I ended up seeing, oh, that is a tiny mouth on such a fat fish. Good gracious, they're getting ready for fall. There's so many bait fish around here. I was throwing the baby jack around. Wasn't having any bites, but I was spooking some of the bait fish, and then you'd have what I can assume is probably pike that were exploding on them when I was stirring them up and whatnot. So end up throwing on a stick bait just in the hopes of, oh, that was another one, in the hopes of kind of looking like some of those bait fish. There's another bite. Good gracious. Bait fish, and like maybe they're dying or something like that. So that's the hope. Caught one, but it has been rough. We only had the one bite on a drop shot, and then one bite that we missed on the baby jack, which is kind of crazy. There's another one. How small are these guys? Oh, wonder how many of these are the ones that we're missing. With that cast, I had about 5 bites. And this is not what we were after by any means. And this is definitely not the fish. Even that one's looking so chunky, even though he's so small. These are definitely not the ones that are chasing the bait. But might have finally found our bait that they'll eat, but we need something bigger. There's one. Get him. Oh, that might be a better fish. Come on, buddy. Be a better fish. Is that a pike? I don't think it's a pike. It's kind of got head shakes though. It might be a pike. I hope not. I don't have to deal with unhooking a pike. About to find out. Maybe. I only have 10-pound test as a leader, so if it is a pike, I don't think we're going to have it for too much longer. What are you? Oh, that's a good bass. Just a good bass. I don't think it's a 4-pounder. Come on. Holy cow. I do not believe it's a 4-pounder, but good gracious. No, not a 4-pounder. Right in the top. There we are. Oh, he might be getting close to 4. I'm gonna say 3 3/4. I didn't think we would catch our 4. I don't even know if he's 3 3/4, to be honest. I'm gonna say 3 1/2. We'll get out the scale and measure him though. Look at that, on one of the worst days. One of the better fish that we've caught in a while. Zeroed out. Not 4. I'm going 3 1/2. 3. Oh, I was off by a bit. 310. Not a bad one. Not a big one. But on a day when we're supposed to be very, very disappointed, caught a good one. Let him go. And she's off. All right. Well, it might just be a wacky rig kind of day. Yeah, we have not had we had one bite on a moving bait. I threw a spinnerbait for a little bit. Didn't have anything on that. Had the one bite immediately on a jack, the baby jack, but that was it. So I don't know. It's not a good day by any means, but we at least caught a decent fish. So there's still hope. But let's keep chucking around. We still have about an hour-ish before we're done. Maybe we can get some more. Maybe we'll get our 4-pounder. There's one. Got him. Doesn't feel as big as the last. Oh, yeah, not as big, I don't think. Oh, maybe. Maybe we found a little school of them, maybe? No, it's definitely not as big as the last one. Nope. Oh, barely had him hooked. Just by the skin. Looks like he got hooked before. Might have been from us potentially at some point in time. Little one. Little 1.5 pounds, 1.25 probably. We didn't have any more of those. It wasn't even like a green pumpkin, it was like a light green. So we switched on over to a black Senko, and they're still eating it. I should start throwing in some moving baits in here to see if we can't catch one on a moving bait now, or if it's just, that's just not even an option. Oh, there's one. First cast with a jerk bait on the long pause. Well, not long, but a little bit longer than what I normally do for summer. I guess we're technically in the fall now. Well, there we go. And again, I had thrown the couple chatterbaits in this spot. Did not have a single bite. First cast with a jerkbait. See if we can't do that again. Oh, there's one. He had it before I did that last twitch. They're just not aggressive. Oh, this is never fun. They're getting the front hook though, so I mean usually that means the fish are a little bit more aggressive than only nipping at the back, but there we go. Another one. It might just be a wacky rig and jerkbait kind of day. There we go. That's the first cast with the wacky rig. Basically same spots we were throwing the jerkbait too. Not a big one. Come on, buddy. Oh, we're gonna boat flip. Hope for the best. There we go. He was kind of skin hooked too. Not a bad one. Probably 1 3/4. Not a bad day. I mean, it's just like there's only like one way that we can catch fish though. And that might be what we learned from all this. Another one. Yep. Small guy. Little one. The exact same spot we caught some tiny little guys like this and the 3 1/4. And again, not a single bite on a spinnerbait, a crankbait, or our chatterbaits, but a jerkbait and a stickbait. They've been eating pretty darn well. One. Oh gosh. Is that a good one? He ate that thing funny. Is that a pike? I hope not. It's a bass. He ate it weird. Is it? Their Senko is way up the line. Oh yeah, that's a bass. He just, that was strange. Not a real big one. Oh. Come on, buddy. There we go. Ooh, barely had him. That was a weird hook set. That's, oh, there's our Senko. That's probably about a 2-pounder. Not too shabby. Oh, there's one. On our, oh, we pulled him off. That was our second cast with the jerkbait. Man. Whoa. There's one. Get him. Not a big one. Ooh, little guy. I threw around the jerkbait a little bit longer. Didn't have any bites. So we threw around the Mini Max Evo chatterbait that we got. Oop. And that looks very similar to our jerkbait and did not have a bite on that either. So it's just getting a little bit more rough. Of a day. There's one. Oh my. That was crazy. He was like, must have been right under the surface, but he absolutely took off. It's not a real big one, but oh, we're going the opposite way now. We didn't have our anchor down, so we're at the mercy of him. I don't think it's a big one. He's fighting like he's all right. Not a bad one. Not a big one. There we go. Right in the roof. Oh, we lost our Senko, so we are going to go ahead, and I haven't even been able to catch one on a jerkbait for a little while. So, got a weird messed up little fin on the back. Oh, wonder if he got bit by a bird or something. But we're going to throw on a little light Texas rig with a ribbon tail. We didn't have any bites, or we only had the one bite on a drop shot. So we're going to try the tiny little Texas rig on the spinning tackle and see if we can't catch a couple more before we're done. We're right about 3 hours that we've been out today, so getting pretty close to the same time frame for the 4-star days as the 1-star days. So we'll fish for just a little bit longer with that thing and see how we do. Hopefully get another fish or two and then go home and talk about it. There's one. Got him. Little guy. Maybe. Maybe not quite as little as we thought. I was gonna... Oh boy. Oh, that's not a bad one to end the day. Come on now, buddy. Oh. There we go. Oh, the hook just fell out. There we go. Not a bad one to end the day. We'll let him go, and we will get back to the house and talk about it.
All right, we made it back home after our lunar table challenge or fishing forecast challenge, whatever you want to call it, and it was interesting. So for both the 4-star days and the 1-star day, they were pretty similar in length or duration. It was about 3 hours for each. The 4-star days were split between 2 days, but still they were right around 3 hours for each. On the good days, or the 4-star days, we ended up catching a total of 17 fish, I think it was. And then on the 1-star day, it was only 14 fish. So a little bit different, but not really all that much. And actually on the 1-star day is when we caught the biggest fish, and that was a 3 1/4 pounder. So I don't know what that really says about fish's willingness necessarily to bite, but what it did show me, or I guess made me think about, is how those fish bite on those days. On the 4-star days, we fished pretty much nothing but power baits, a lot of moving baits, bigger Texas rig, that sort of thing. And then on the 1-star day, I couldn't get them to bite a moving bait to save my life. We did have one quick bite on a chatterbait, and then it was nothing. Everything else we caught on was the one on the drop shot. We caught a couple on a jerkbait with longer pauses than I typically have, in summer, early fall. And then the rest were on a stick bait or a Senko. So this won't change necessarily how much I fish or what days I fish or anything else like that. But it might actually change when or like how I fish on those days. If it's a 1-star day and I know that, I might have a much lower threshold to switching on over to something finessey. So it might actually change how I fish, which is kind of interesting. As far as when I fish, I don't care whether it's a great day or a bad day. I'm going to go out and fish every opportunity I have. I guess if you have to pick one or the other, it might benefit you a little bit to pick a better day, but I guess from our limited experience, I don't think you can for certain say one way or another. But if you guys believe, wholeheartedly in this or not at all, by all means, comment that in the comment section below. It'd be interesting to kind of figure out how people fish, I guess, for the most part. But if you're new to this channel, we are doing a giveaway in a series format.
So basically, since we started this, all the way up until December 1st, we are giving a lure, or we're putting a lure in a box for every video that we don't catch a 4-pounder. And that giveaway will end either on December 1st or when we catch a 4-pounder, whichever happens first. We have so much stuff in our box right now. It's probably worth well over $100. It's a lot of things that I use. It's name brand stuff. It's not trash by any means. It's a lot of really decent stuff. So hopefully whoever ends up winning it loves it, catches a bunch of fish on it. But that being said, we did not catch a 4-pounder today. We did catch a 3 1/4, so that was a very nice fish. But that means our giveaway continues. So we will be putting another lure in the box. Make sure to like, comment, share with anybody who wants the opportunity to potentially win this. We'll be doing that giveaway over on Instagram. Again, whenever it ends. We don't know when that is, so make sure to follow along, not only to see the things that we've put in there, and if you want to go see what we've already put in there, check out all the rest of the videos, and to know when you know that you have the opportunity to go ahead and enter. But that being said, we didn't catch a 4-pounder today, so we're going to go ahead and put in a Chopo. Love Chopos in summer. Obviously, if you've watched the videos recently, I've done absolutely terribly on topwater, and whenever somebody's getting this box, they're probably not going to be throwing a ton of topwater because it'll probably be late fall or winter. But for springtime, they will most certainly be able to catch some fish on that. So one of my favorite topwater baits. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Until next one.